Hey everyone, welcome to Tech and Tidy, the podcast about cleaning businesses and the people and technology that keep them running. I'm your host, Brent Monson. Today I'm joined by Julie Hoover, owner of Sanitize Hoover Wise, an Office Pride franchise serving the Indianapolis and Greenfield area. Julie's built an operation that earned her Office Pride Standard of Excellence Award in 2024, and today we're getting into some of the operational challenges in the industry and how you maintain quality across different facility types. But of course, as with all of our guests, I'd like to get to know them a little bit. So, Julie, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So, how did you get started in the cleaning industry, and how did you decide to go the franchise route?
So it's my husband Tom and I own the business together, and we were working in the same industry. And during COVID, we, you know, we weren't sure of the future and decided maybe we should diversify. And so, um, honestly, the Office Pride, purchasing an Office Pride franchise, enough of the marketing of this hit my LinkedIn. And all I could think was, here we are in COVID, and I am sure that COVID is either going to become more important and more at the need and the service behind it. So, um, when we were considering Office Pride, definitely did not want to go out there on our own. It's nice to have the franchise support behind us. And they do a lot. They actually do all of our billing and invoicing, yeah, a good chunk of our marketing. Um, they handle training and processing training material for employees. So they're very involved. And I just, again, it just is important to us to have that support so that we can concentrate on growing a business and not have to get out of a business. And that's
Mm. Yep, there's probably plenty to worry about without having to worry about all the administrative, right, in the back office. So
right.
very good. Um, what has been the biggest influence on building your business so far in these intervening years since COVID?
Uh, I would say, well, one is my husband Tom. He's generally my biggest cheerleader. He's one of the smartest people I know, and that's been really helpful. There's been times where I'm like, "That's it, I'm done. I'm selling the business." He's like, "No, no, no. It's like, you can figure this out." Um, so he's a great support. But honestly, I think what motivates me and kind of, and for sure, influences me positively is knowing for our staff, there are some people that this job helps them tremendously for their family, for themselves, and we have so many great stories about how even if it's a part-time job, I really have somebody with a financial goal that uh, or taught them something they didn't know how to do, um, and builds confidence in people. I feel like we're generally very lucky and good, um, business owners. It's good for us. I'd say to people all the time, if I didn't have employees, I would have no business. If I had the business, I'd have the business. So, um, I stay with that as a positive influence.
Yeah, yep. Your employees are the lifeblood of the company, right? And yeah, it sounds like you've got a great cheerleader in your husband, Tom. So you two working together, you received the Standards Excellence Award in 2024. What do you think made the difference? How did you stand out in being able to earn that?
Yeah, we actually earned it in 2023 as well. So
Oh, okay. Wow.
out of 150 franchises, I believe 11 earned it in 2023, and in 2024, 7 out of the 150. So um, a, a huge honor to us. It's definitely key on customer satisfaction. There's some operational things in there as well, but um, for us, I think that is just concentrating on responsiveness to our customers, making sure they know we have their back. Um, if there's you know, alterations or modifications to the cleaning specs, um, we will find to do that. If that's important to the customer, then it's within our realm, then we do it. And certainly running inspections to third parts is also part of that customer satisfaction. I am a mother and I do have eyes in the back of my head, but not for, you know, 50 employees. So it's great to have um, an easy and understandable way to an organized way to go through a building and check off, what is being done well and what might need to do.
Hmm. You mentioned responsiveness. What does that look like in concrete terms? Are you often on the phone with your clients, or do you have a nice regular cadence where you've got area managers that are making visits? I'm throwing ideas out there, but yeah, I'd be interested what that means
Right,
for
right.
you.
For me, it is, I will say, I feel like I used to be in buildings a lot more than I am now. And the difference is that I now have built up a staff, daytime and evening, who are in and out of buildings several a day. Um, and I do think it's important for, uh, the inspections don't, in my opinion, for sure, doesn't be buildings where they need to be done at night. I particularly like having them done during the day where customers can see, the do not striped shirt and know that, this is something we do. This is part of the quality system, and part of our customer satisfaction. So that's, and, and then I also think that feedback better than, people don't necessarily always stop and say, Doc, I really wish that the cleaning company would do X, Y, Z. And they, the thought comes and goes and they get busy and then they don't send it. But during the inspection, definitely get a lot of feedback on. It could even be, we're doing a great job, or, hey, could we do this, or hey, next month, what kind of takes, whatever that is. And so having boots on the ground in that respect is great. I am a people, and I'm not saying that is the way people do it. But any of my customers could email me and make requests or send concern, and that's the first thing I get. I think that I expect quick response if I need a service or whatever that is, and so I just had to get that.
Hmm. How do you help your staff and your cleaners take on some of that same mentality, right, of being responsive, of ensuring the quality is high? Is that just a part of culture? Is that a part of training? How do you get that culture down to the frontline workers?
I think it starts with training, and I think if you ask any of our leadership team on a scale of 1 to 10, how high are your expectations for how things get done, they'd probably say 10.5. So I think that is, I don't know how to do it different. I generally really try to answer my employees quickly, because I don't think it's fair for me to expect them to answer me quickly if I'm not going to say. Sometimes if it's not a fire I need putting out, it might take about a minute. But generally, if they're asking a question, I want to answer. And if I know I have to answer it, that's okay. and I'll let them know. They'll never hesitate to ask me. I actually have a newer employee. She's another division, now she's the operations coordinator, and um, all she knew about things hard was how to check in your shift and how to check out, do a message and issue. And now her and I have sat on people together or generally on Teams call and we'll share screens and go through, this is how you would, this is how you build a checklist. And so she's able to do so many things now that, um, and just, I think, spend every time to train properly, how did we get.
Mm. Quick pause here in our conversation. If you're a new listener to Tech and Tidy, this show is presented by Clean Smarts, which our team created to solve a lot of the problems you hear discussed on these episodes. Clean Smarts is a cleaning management software platform designed to help building service contractors and janitorial teams run like clockwork. Whether you're scheduling crews across multiple sites, tracking hours, managing equipment, or improving profitability, Clean Smarts brings it all together with an intuitive mobile app that employees love. It's one comprehensive system so teams can show up, get the job done, and improve the quality of their service. We also just launched the Clean Smarts web app, a new and more modern experience with improved tools and powerful add-ons to make day-to-day operations easier and more efficient. So if you want to future-proof your cleaning operations, find out more at cleansmarts.com. Now back to our conversation. Do you have any non-negotiables in terms of your quality standard or any, kind of a motto or mantra that you expect everyone to live by as they do their cleaning?
Right. Um, that's actually, I like that. I have a mantra around that because, um, it's kind of like when you go camping and you're supposed to leave the campsite in better condition than what you found. So maybe that will be my mantra now moving forward. But I think that non-negotiables is, um, I there's definitely buildings that are easier to work in than others. So for the ones that can be a little challenging, um, I think accountability is really a non-negotiable. So if that it goes back to the inspections, it goes back to sometimes people put an issue in and I don't understand it, and I'm not really sure exactly which stall in the recipe is that that they stated. And so I think just helping people hold themselves accountable to communication um, and knowing what the expectations are um, is probably a non-negotiable. I think people that work so just as much as I do have the high expectations, I think we're also very maybe too fair, honestly, sometimes, or too flexible with people. But I think that you know, being kind and I will say that the one thing my one goal with cleaning is to really lift up the janitorial industry because I think it's better than it was pre-COVID. I talk about the fact that pre-COVID you could see I mean, that was before I had office jobs. I went in the building and I don't even think that I see someone cleaning. I mean, I'm not looking for it. If I see it, I didn't really think that about it. Um, and then after COVID, you see, the frustration of the car, you're like, yay, great, this place is clean. And so I just want that. So I think it's really hard how you education sound, but um, if I see it, if I'm in a building, out of state, I see a cleaner out of state, or I think to be sure that they're brave and tight. I truly believe that um, people should be respected and appreciated. Will make your places safe at home. So the people that work for us, I don't. We've never want something to ever feel like they're not.
That's great. Well, I think That's a great note to end on, right? To really appreciate and be grateful for the work that goes into maintaining the places that we work and live. So,
Absolutely. Hey,
well, wonderful. And anything else that you'd want to share? Maybe advice or I guess any last thoughts here before we wrap up?
um, yeah, I would. I can tell you this that I've owned this franchise for 5 years, and I'm not. You know, I worked for many years before that in industrial automation and a sales position, and that was a great job. I felt like I worked really hard, and then we bought this business. I've never worked as hard in my life as I do now. So I would just, um, I think that my one piece of advice, mm, yeah, I try and I do a lot of networking actually, so I'm around small business owners quite often, and there is this, level of stress. You feel like it sits on your shoulders. Um, the harder you know, it's going to sit down, it's going to be mean. So as much as we have a great staff and they take a lot off my plate, it's just it doesn't really. Maybe there's going to be some day where I can say, yeah, yeah, now I could sit back and relax. I don't, um, and do our share of it, but I think that owning a business is, right. So it's stressful and a lot of work. So, but it's rewarding, right? I mean, financially, it's a good thing for us. I can have flexibility uh, when I use it. That's another reason why we um, decided to jump into owning our own business. But um, yeah, just be ready.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Requires hard work.
yes, very much.
Well, great. Well, thank you, Julie, for your time and for being, I would consider you a friend. We've been acquaintances for, many years. So
Oh, yep,
it's good to have you here on this podcast and to chat.
yeah.
Um,
Good catching up, and I thank you for having me.
yeah. So if we'll just wrap up here. So if you're listening and you're looking to see how you can improve the quality of your operations. Hopefully, this conversation led to some good ideas. Be sure and follow Tech and Tidy for more conversations with leaders like Julie across the cleaning industry, and more episodes will follow soon. So, thanks. Thanks
Uh,
for listening. Thanks, Julie.